Everybody, what's going on? I am Jamie Dawn, your evolutionary revolutionary astrologer, bringing you your celestial wisdom for the week of September 3rd through the 10th of 2023. And the big talk of the town, of course, is sexy and beautiful and relationship value artist, if you will, Venus, our planet Venus. She is gone direct this week on Monday. So we'll talk about that for a minute. We still have Mercury retrograde, but before I jump in, I just want to check in. How's everybody doing? You know, the hard part about doing some of these videos, or all of them really, is that I don't get to interact with you live. And I really enjoy that. I get energized by your questions, comments, your insights. One thing about astrology, it's a lifelong language that we're learning. And there's always ways to interpret things. And so it's always fun to be able to learn from you as much as hopefully you can learn from me or gain some sort of comfort and hope and wisdom as well. Now, I will say I have been in clean out mode. I took in like so many bags to Goodwill and of stuff that I was just like, wow, I try to live pretty minimal, and yet I've collected a lot of stuff that I just don't use. And I don't know if about you, but I'm guilty of buying something and taking it home. And then I look at it and I go, that was the wrong thing. Oh my God. And then I don't bother to return it. Yeah, I'm one of those people because I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered. Anyways, I'm going to try and get better. That's one of my commitments moving forward, is to try and get better at returning things that I don't need, and instead of just having to donate them. So we'll see how I do. You can hold me in check on that. But in the meantime, talking about Venus direct in the sign of Leo, she's been retrograde since July 23rd. She had her 40 days in the underworld. She's returning now, and she's ready to step out and say, these are some of the things that I've learned and the ways that I've learned them. And when it comes to what I really value, what's really important to me when it comes to relationships and how I want to feel proud. Think of this. Leo has that pride energy. Not now, yes, the shadow is that too much pride, right? But we need to be proud of ourselves. And I'm going to use this as a platform to be able to say, yeah, we should toot our own horns. We have come a long way. We have been through hell and back. Think about that. Venus going into the underworld is considered quote unquote hell. We've been to hell and back. We deserve to be proud of ourselves because, yeah, maybe we didn't handle some things so gracefully. Maybe we, said some things we didn't mean to say, or we started creating stories that we didn't really know were true, and it created all kinds of emotional trauma for us, whatever. But we still made it through it. How are we going to tweak things or learn if we don't have the experience of it, right? So I'm going to say, take your hand, put your knuckles, curl your knuckles, and go blow on them. Yeah, we did pretty good. Okay, there you go. And Mercury retrograde trining Jupiter and the moon in Taurus as Venus goes direct. And then Jupiter is making a retrograde station also on the same day that Venus goes direct. So we've got this like planetary movement that's happening where one planet, we'll call it the lesser benefic of Venus, is going direct. And then the greater benefic Jupiter is going to station and start to retrograde. And now here's the thing though. You've got these two, what's considered beneficial planets. Hopeful, positive, expansive Jupiter, jovial, yes, can be over extravagant, but it expands and it wants to benefit whatever it touches, right? And then Venus, love and beauty and harmony and what we value, wanting to also now shine in the new light. One of the other things I want to point out, and this is sort of a theme that I feel is going to permeate for this week. We also have the sun at 12 degrees in Virgo and Jupiter 12 degrees. The moon is going to touch at 12 degrees. In ancient times, and even still today, 12 is a very ancient magical number. It's significant in the ancient traditions like Babylon, Egypt, India, just to name a few. And it's considered to be the number of the divine council. And that's how I like to see Jupiter, because Jupiter's the protector. It's good luck and fortune, right? And so when it's stationed here at 12 degrees with the sun, making this trine, it just feels so good with Mercury there as well. Even though Mercury's retrograde, Jupiter's retrograde. So we've got this internal dialogue that says, hey, wait a minute, I have this divine counsel within. And I'll give you this technique too that I know some of you use, and it's a really powerful thing. And that is to have your 12 council members that you sit in meditation, you connect with. It could be someone who's crossed over, who you consider to be like a hero or an inspirer, right? Or it could be somebody who's still alive that is like your admirer, you know? I mean, I name one, Steve Jobs, let's just say. You want to have a council of what to do to be innovative and to stand out, be a badass when it comes to business, right? Okay, so Steve Jobs would be on my divine council. Or maybe I want to have the goddess Isis, you know? So anyways, so using this theme of the number 12, right? In astrology, think about this. We have 12 houses. The sky's divided into 12 constellations. We have 12 months, 12. Egypt, 12 is considered completion or wholeness. And that's what we're always striving for. You know, this is the path of healing. This is the path of self-awareness, is to really integrate all the light, all the shadows so that we have wholeness. And when we have a square going on with Venus and Jupiter, and Jupiter now retrograde, Venus going direct, this can lead to greater awareness, greater benefits in our relationships, our finances, our values. So that's the theme that's going to be coloring us in the next week or so. Now, the other big thing for this week is on Tuesday. So just after Jupiter stations retrograde and Venus stations direct, on Tuesday, we got Mercury and the sun in what's called a cazimi. I say canoodling because I just like using that term. But in cazimi, which is a halfway mark of Mercury retrograde, and the moon is going to be in Gemini and it's going to square off with Saturn and Pisces. So when we have this sun and Mercury meeting, this is where the head and the heart come together. The mind and the heart can become one. And if you're following moon cycles also, this is very similar to a new moon, but we're using the mercurial aspect to it. So we're going to be thinking about what seeds do I want to plant in the mind that can then start to grow in the heart. And so what we want to do is that when a planet's with the sun, it provides the opportunity of the planet's affairs to emerge with higher purpose, to be energized and manifested through the cycle. And we want to really be mindful with Mercury here of what our intentions are. What's that wisdom that we're ultimately trying to achieve? And then the experiences that we want to have in order to receive that wisdom. And think about this, Mercury and the sun are going to be having conversation. And when we're working with that conjunction or that canoodling, if you will, it's almost like you're standing back to back. You can't see each other. You don't have the opposition of the mirror to be able to reflect each other. So they're back to back with each other. And they're trying to describe to each other what's on their face, what their expressions they might be having, that sort of thing. And so there's a lot of intuitive nature and really getting to know each other from an intuitive aspect that also presents itself here. So really trust that intuition, because as the week continues, the sun is making a trine, an exact trine to Jupiter, and we can find a lot more hope and a lot more energy and a lot more opportunities that start to come our way because it's something we've desired for a while. We become clear about our intentions or motivations. Why do I want what I want? What will it do for me, but also what will it do for others? We're looking at ways to be of great service. And I feel that towards the middle to end of the week, there could be some real good breakthroughs where we may have felt stuck. So if you're like, oh, nothing's changing, nothing's ever happening, give it a moment. Because I really feel that as we move through the week, that things are going to start to pop. But they have to happen for us internally first, of like, how do I normally respond to this? Let me do it differently. Do I normally hold myself back from something? Maybe I need to be more assertive. Or what's the story that I keep telling myself? Let me change that narrative. Things like that. We're going to have the moon in Cancer squaring off Mars in Libra on Friday and making a sextile to Uranus on Saturday. So more support when we think about the moon, right? We think about what we need, our instincts, on our subconscious, the reactions, if you will. It's also our habits. And the moon is the ruler of Cancer. And when it makes this square to Mars in Libra, it's giving further emphasis about what kind of challenge and tension have we had in what we need in relationship, how we feel about relationship. Let's come to the table and negotiate it. Let's talk about it. Let's have some courageous conversations, because they can lead to breakthroughs with Uranus here that allow us to be able to say, now I can take this to the next level, or I can release something that just doesn't serve us anymore, that's held us back from true intimacy or held us back from feeling good and secure with each other. Now we can come back together and have some really good conversation and connection. And that's what I know we as human beings truly seek, is intimacy. And I'm not talking about just sex, the intimacy of being seen and witnessed by each other and spending time together and being able to say, yeah, it's okay to be vulnerable with me. There's that trust and that safety that's there. So that's the opportunities that this coming week can offer to us. But we also have to take some action to be courageous enough to invite a conversation, be courageous enough to say, hey, you know what? Maybe I acted like an ass over here. I need to apologize. Can you forgive me? And yeah, let's work on that. Let's talk about it. All right, you guys, I hope this helps. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. Come find me at jamiedawn.com. I look forward to connecting with you, and have such a great week.